Hello, this is Executive Coach Kim Miles, and welcome back to Balanced Life Finally Feel the webinar. We are in Module 4, and we're talking about leaving your legacy. Now, when we're talking about legacy, I am talking about what it is that when you leave, whether it's an organization, whether it's a neighborhood or community, or whether it's you leave this earth. What is the legacy that you're leaving? What are people going to remember you by? How will they have changed for the better because of you and your influence? That's what I'm talking about with legacy. And I got to tell you, for me, initially, the idea of even looking at a legacy that I would leave, I felt like legacies were something that only famous, super important people would do. I never considered my own legacy. So it was a really interesting and fun exercise once I got into it and once I changed my perspective on it. So when you consider legacy, I want you to consider, what is the influence that you want to have now? Right today, right this moment. What influence do you want to have on others? How do you want them to remember you? But more importantly, what is it that you want them to be better for because of being with you, or because of an idea that you helped them find, or maybe you gave to them? Maybe you introduced them to somebody and they're always going to remember you for introducing them to that person. Then I want you to consider, who will that influence touch next year, the year after, and in 100 years? You know, in executive coaching, I am so fortunate for it to be very apparent that if I am able to support an executive in being a better leader, then their organization is better. And the people that work for their organization are happier. And they go home, and their home lives are better because they're fulfilled at work and are earning an income that's commensurate with what they are worth, etc. As an executive coach, it's very easy to see how those dominoes fall. But the truth is that happens with everything and everyone. We all are that pebble that gets thrown into a lake, and the ripples come from us and ultimately touch the rest of the lake on some level, in some way. That's what our legacy is. And when we think about it, next year, the year after, and in 100 years, that's pretty powerful. Like I said, it took a moment for me to really encapsulate what this could possibly mean. And for some people, it can feel heavy, like a huge responsibility. But the truth is, when you bring your highest self, your best self, when you exercise the talents and gifts that you've been given, when you learn something new and you share that with others, you're creating a legacy. And it's wonderful. And it's important to this world. So we're going to do an activity. And this is a short module because this activity might take you quite a while. And it really goes deep into who you are and the impact that you want to have. And it's called the Legacy Capture 100th Birthday. And you may have heard of an exercise like this. Many executives will do this kind of exercise for the year. For us, we are going to do this exercise for our lifetime. So what I'd like you to do is consider that you are at your 100th birthday party, and people have come, not just your family and friends, but there are other people that you have influenced in some form or fashion, and they wanted to be there at your 100th birthday. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to write a letter that you will read to your audience at your 100th birthday. Again, these are people that you have influenced over your lifetime, that you've made a favorable impression. And they're all sitting around you, and you have to read this letter. Now, mind you, it's a letter, it's not a novel. So you're going to be concise, and you're going to be summarizing the kinds of impact that you've had and the reasons for that. And in this letter, I want you to handwrite it. If you choose to transfer it into some electronic format, that's totally fine. But handwrite it for the first part of the exercise so that you can really connect with it. Again, you're going to be writing to these people. You're going to be talking to them about what it is that you've done in your life and why they're there. And you're thanking them for being there. And you're acknowledging the influence that you had on them. Maybe you're remembering that time that you gave them some information, that you consoled them, that you provided some value to them that was meaningful to them, not to just that day, but meaningful for however long it's been, because it's now your 100th birthday. Take some time with this exercise. If you need to start with a novel and whittle it down to a page, that's fine. The idea here is for you to be concise with your wording and to capture the way in which you have influenced others and the way that influence is impacting future generations. I'm really excited for you to go through this experience, and I would love to hear or even read your letter. I will tell you that if we've been able to connect in person, that reading your letter would be an absolute joy for me. And at the same time, this is a very personal letter. So I look forward to hearing how this exercise has been for you. This is the end of Module 4. And I look forward to connecting back with you in Module 5. Again, if you need to reach out to me to share, to celebrate, or to ask questions about this particular module, please do email me at kim@kimlmiles.com, or kim@coachkimmiles.com, or telephone me at 303-690-7661. Until Module 5, many blessings and much gratitude.